So I had this person come to me, and they were upset, and they were complaining, and they were yelling, and they were saying, Aaron, earlier this year I was making great money. I was making great money drop shipping on Facebook Marketplace. But what's happened is over the last few months, my sales have steadily gone down. And you know what? The reason for that is there's more competition now, and drop shipping just doesn't work anymore. And the first thing I wanted to say is, well, it sounds like you're blaming everyone else but yourself. You're not being proactive, and you're not looking inside. And this is the thing I see, especially with a lot of beginner entrepreneurs. They like to blame other people but themselves. But I try to be calm and not say that to the guy. And I said, well, let me ask you, what types of items are you listing in your store? And he's like, well, I'm listing all items that used to sell great. Lawnmowers, grills, things for the outside, hammocks, all popular items that, I was selling great. And these items were selling, but they stopped selling. And I said, well, do you think that these items might have stopped selling because the seasons are changing? He said, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, listen, in the summertime, and especially during spring, people are transitioning from generally being cold and staying inside to wanting to start to go outside a lot. What do people do during the summertime? People lay on hammocks outside because it's nice. People will sometimes do exercise and buy workout equipment for the outside. People will mow their lawn. People will grill, right? They'll buy furniture for the outside. But that's because it's 70, 80, 90 degrees out. When the seasons transition, it starts to get colder. And now it's 20 degrees out. Are people still mowing their lawn when it's 20 degrees out? Are people still sitting in the hammocks? Are people still, grilling outside? Generally not. So what we need to understand, and what this guy had a paradigm shift after we had a conversation about, was as the season change, you need to make sure the items you're listing in the inventory in your store evolves as well. Now, there's some items that will continue to sell good, right? Especially if you're selling items like maybe office chairs. These items, might sell consistently throughout the year. But especially if you've been selling a lot of items for the outside, those items need to be changed. Keep those items, but there's no reason to delete them, especially if they're on Facebook Marketplace, because it doesn't cost you anything to have them listed. But you need to start listing items that change with the season. So what are some good items that we could list for the, upcoming months? Well, let's think about some of the holidays and celebrations that come up. There's Halloween. So we could sell Halloween decorations. We could sell Halloween costumes. We could sell those Halloween lights. Then there's Thanksgiving. So again, we could sell, items for Thanksgiving. I think like ugly sweater parties are kind of popular, right? So especially if you're using a dropshipping company like Amazon, I'm sure they have some ugly sweaters on Amazon that you could list in your store. Thanksgiving platters. That could be another thing that people are going to start looking for. And then, of course, we have Christmas. There's Christmas lights and Christmas trees. I remember when I was drop shipping, I don't drop ship on my store anymore on Amazon, but I have a client store that I run that I drop ship on for Amazon. And I know in my store, whenever it gets around Christmas time, we start selling a lot of Christmas trees, right? Or they're like pine trees. It's the trees, that people use for Christmas trees. So Christmas trees, Christmas decorations, things revolving Christmas. Then there's New Year's, right? And of course you could do it for Hanukkah, right? Hanukkah items and Hanukkah lights. And then of course there's New Year's. And not only are these kind of holidays good to list items for, but also what could we list? What are items we have to think? People are staying inside more. People are being a little bit colder. So one of the things that we could, generally colder, right? It's colder outside. So like my dad's got something that he pushes on the driveway, and it takes the snow on the driveway and it like shoots it into like the, like where the grass is, right? So instead of having to take a shovel and do it manually, you just kind of walk with this thing and it shoots the snow. My dad likes it. I think sometimes he does some of the neighbors' driveways. You know, just dad's a nice guy, wants to help him out, right? And that's great. Well, I forget the name of it. I don't know if it's called a snowblower pusher or whatever. I'm just going to call it a snowblower pusher. Well, a snowblower pusher probably isn't going to sell too well in the middle of July when it's 80 degrees out. But if it's 15 degrees out and it's snowing a lot, items like that might be worth considering and listing in your store. So the point of this video was to do two things. A, it was to get you to understand seasons, but also I wanted to try to go beyond and try to deliver extra value for you and share with you certain items that you could list in your store over the next few months that might, that are good items to list as these seasons change to, hopefully help you keep making money. And hopefully you won't be like that person I talked to that was making great sales, 3-6 months ago and is now struggling and he didn't quite understand why. My name's Aaron Goldsten, and if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumb up and subscribe, and I'll try to put extra content somewhere here. If you like this video, you can check out other videos on my channel as well.